Yeah.
This
All
is
right.
the Ken and Don show. We are talking about the new Jeep Recon.
Recon.
Let's share that screen right now. Jeep, golly. All right. So yeah, Kenya, what you about to say?
Oh, nothing. I mean, yeah, they got their electric SUV, and uh, it's looks like a Jeep, man, and it's rugged. Um, I'll say this, man. Like, I just want to say, my or our principles are that we always respect the brands,
Exactly.
and there's a certain level that you just don't go to. Of course, we have our opinions and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
we like to entertain and make people laugh, and we like to laugh. We like to joke around, and we do have our views that are different from one another, and that's okay. I'm gonna have my opinions about what Jeep should do, or what any other brand should do. But there's a certain level you don't go past, and I think that
Exactly.
you know what I'm alluding to.
Exactly.
I do
Go,
not
go, go.
condone, what these alleged journalists have done when they were
Say the name. If
at
if, if they want to act up and act crazy, don't be afraid to say the name. The middle lane
the middle
automotive
lane.
journalists. Yes. And what they
Yeah,
did
they
was pathetic.
it was disrespectful. For
It
one
was, yeah.
thing, they should have walked out there in handcuffs because it's illegal to
Exactly.
vandalize any of the equipment on the showroom floor.
Exactly.
So, um, so I don't condone anything like that. Is classless, and it was completely unnecessary.
Completely
Um,
unnecessary.
so respect all the brands. You know, with that being said, look, uh, Jeep, they're trying their hand at their first electric, at off-roading, outdoorsman SUV. Um, look, looking at it, it looks like a regular Jeep, right? It looks like
Yeah.
a regular Jeep, and it's good looking. Obviously, a lot of these automakers are telling us when it comes to these iPad on wheel designs, iPad interior designs, their attitude to us is take it or leave it. You'll get used to it. So I don't like that. I'd
Mm.
rather have some buttons, especially for an off-road vehicle, which is going off-road. You're going to be rocking around a lot,
Mm-hmm.
going over bumps, rocks, uneven terrain, and then you're going to be trying to press something, and it's you're going to have a difficult time trying to do that. And there's no topography, so that part of it I don't like. The rest of it interior it looks quite good. So I will give them that in the pictures. Now,
Okay. Yeah.
as far as the specifications, the base MSRP is 65 grand. But you get 650 horsepower.
Oh wow. Oh, I really need
650 horsepower.
650 horsepower. I need that.
Now, here's the thing. Now, as far as the cargo volume, you get 66 cubic feet. That is compared to the Wrangler. I'm going to compare it to the Wrangler, um, which is going to be 72 cubic feet, the Wrangler Sahara, the base trim. So in the Wrangler 4xe, which is a hybrid, has 67 cubic feet. Now, the rear and cargo volume, when you open, the rear door, the rear hatch door, is 30 cubic feet. For the Wrangler Sahara, is 31.7 cubic feet. And for the Wrangler 4xe, is 27.7 cubic feet. So now its total interior volume is actually 111.3 cubic feet compared to the Wrangler's 104 cubic feet.
Mm.
So there you go.
All
Now,
right. Kenya, you were supposed to ask the question, but you didn't even ask the
now,
question.
now, 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 with these specifications, now what they're saying is, okay, with all this, you get 230 miles of range.
Okay.
So
230?
my 230. Now, that's for the off
Ooh.
road. For the on road vehicles, from what I'm hearing, you get a little bit more, 250 miles of range. So my question is, and I'm gonna go straight to it, is how long is this going to last on the market before they exit? How many years is it
How
going to
many
last?
years? That's a bold statement. Kenya, to say years, that's a bold statement. And
The normal life cycle is what, 6 years?
exactly. This is not gonna last on the market at all. They're gonna what's gonna happen to this recon, and I don't understand why they did not put a range extender in it. Why they have not studied the field, why they have not studied their competitors. Scout has two vehicles or two platforms. One is an EV, full EV, and one is a range extender. And about 80% people have chosen the range extender, right? Why have we not studied these numbers? Why have we not placed a range extender in an off-road vehicle, right? That 230 miles is not going to get you anywhere in the Mohave Desert. That's
This,
crazy. That you're talking about being stuck. Okay, let me get to your question, Can you? Will this last in the off-road market? Absolutely not. It's going to have the exact same effect that the Dodge Charger EV had. They are going to drop the price to 48,000. It's going to be highly subsidized by the company. They are going to try to get this vehicle out the lot. In fact, I'm here to say a lot of dealerships are not going to invest in this product, period. So dealerships are contractually obligated to buy a certain amount of product from the company. That being said, I don't think the dealerships are going to buy this in droves. I drive to the dealership every so often just to see the two EVs on the lot. These two EVs, Dodge Charger EVs, been collecting dust for almost a whole year, and they have not moved out the lot at all. So this is going to be an instant flop. Now, if they put a 4-cylinder or a Pentastar V6 in there for a range extender, we got something on our hands, right? But that's not going to happen. And if they,
but,
if
but,
go ahead, Kenya.
but guess what? If you do
What?
that, take a look at the Wrangler 4xe. It's a hybrid, right?
Uh huh.
27.7 cubic feet of cargo volume.
Mm-hmm.
And total cargo volume is 67.4 cubic feet. Just
Yeah.
imagine with a range extender what you're going to get. Because already the cargo volume is already less. So with a range extender, it's got to go somewhere.
It's gonna go in the front. Listen, Kenya. The range extender doesn't have to be that big of an engine. In fact, it can be that Hurricane I4, right? It can be that. It doesn't have to be a big engine. Only thing it needs to be is have to be well to do. And the range extender will go underneath the bonnet, right? We get a range extender, a slightly smaller battery, and now we are looking at 500 miles, easy. And
Think so?
that's me being conservative. With a range extender, a conservative estimate is 500 miles. That's conservative. But in reality, if you get a range extender, you are looking at 700 miles. That's the most conservative estimate with a range extender. and just a slightly smaller size battery, you are looking at a conservative estimate of 700 miles. But for the sake of the argument, we're gonna say 500 miles.
Yeah, I would say maybe 500. That'd be more realistic. Maybe 450.
No,
You know,
500. I won't go below 500, and that's
but you
conservative.
gotta think about the extra weight, though.
But
So
that means nothing though. Kenya, what is your take? Do you believe it's going to fare well in the market for its release date of 2026? Do you think it's going to fare well? And how long do you think it's going to stay in the market?
a year. Uh,
Man,
that's
I
about it.
swear,
Maybe a year and a half.
I can get down
No
with that.
more than that.
Yeah,
No
I can
more
get
than
down with
that.
that.
Before they start to realize, okay, we can't sell this because these type of vehicles, man. When it comes to EVs,
Yeah,
EVs have a very narrow window where they really can succeed.
exactly,
And I spoke about this before. Um, they have to like the sweet spot for EV seems to be the Model 3, Model Y size range.
exactly.
Anything outside of that,
Nah,
for whatever reason, people don't want it. Um, when it comes to sports cars, you people don't want it for various different reasons. You know, um, obviously they don't make noise and they're not fun to drive around the track because they're
they're
not as
heavy.
fast around the circuit. They're heavy, and you can't drive them from here to Montgomery, Alabama, without having to stop for an hour and stuff like that at
Exactly,
Cracker Barrel. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to eat at Cracker Barrel just to charge my car. So, um, so people don't want them for that reason. Yeah, and they don't have the range. So when it comes to pickup trucks, SUVs, once again, long distance driving. That's a long distance driving type of vehicle. It's a pickup truck and an SUV. And since they're not good at that, and they take a long time to charge, people don't want to use them for that, so they don't sell.
exactly,
And plus, you're
exactly,
paying them extra for these things. You're paying more for them than what you normally would. So it just doesn't make as much sense, especially with EV tax credits going. It's even harder to sell them now. And so the sweet spot has always been like, a Model Y. Anything outside of that, where you are, um, because the higher, more demanding the application, the worse, the less efficient BEVs are. You definitely can't go all the way up to an airplane with them. You can, but it's very bad idea to do so. You can't go up to a semi with them. Tesla has their
and
Tesla
it
semi,
hasn't been, yeah, and it hasn't
and
been
it's
out,
not selling. It's
and
not
it's not
selling
selling them.
because you can do 2,000 miles in a semi, but you can't do what you can do what in a Tesla semi. How many miles you getting
I
out of that?
think probably 300.
450.
Yeah, that's not feasible. Let me
You can
read
tow a
out
lot with
these.
it, but you ain't getting no range with it. So you can do a huge load for what 900 to 2,000 miles on some of these semis. So the more demanding the application is, the less practical BEVs are. You definitely don't want to use them for jetliners. Well, you can't because a jet engine can't be. But you definitely don't want to use them for like a passenger civilian plane that has to travel like 1,000 miles. It's not going to happen.
Exactly,
So
it's not feasible.
uh, it's not feasible. Um,
I
and I don't want to go into details on why. There's a lot of reasons why, but it's just that what I'm saying is for this kind of vehicle, I just don't see it. Um, it's not gonna last. So
Okay, let me interject this. I want to interject this right now. This stats for Q1 of 2024 last year. Mind you, the Challenger and the Charger has now been going in a discontinued, right? They're being
that's
discontinued,
right.
right? 2024 of last year, Q1. Dodge sold 9,737 Challengers. that were completely out of date by modern times, right? Now, in 2025, the sales have dropped by 49% in Q1. Dodge sell roughly about 1,000 EVs for Q1. About 2,000 EVs for Q1. And they sold a discontinued Dodge Charger and Dodge Challenger for Q1 of 2025, and they sold over the amount of the EVs by 100. Mind you, these vehicles are completely now discontinued, and they are outselling their EV counterparts. I say this to say, why haven't we not learned from our siblings? Remember when your siblings used to get a whooping, and you look at them get a whooping, and
Yeah.
you learn
You
from
know
their
not to do the
mistake?
same thing.
You know not to do the same thing. So my question is, why haven't Jeep learned from their sibling to understand that this is not the way to go? Why haven't we not changed our path that Carlos Tavares have created for us? Why are we still on the exact same path that this man has created for us? Why? Kenya, take over.
Because it's the same thing with what that happened. Well, I think with the case with Porsche is a little bit different. They had some success with the Taycan at first. They want to repeat it,
Yeah, but no success for the Dodge
no
Charger
success.
EV.
Now that would make no sense. You're right, and it's coming from a vehicle that, in my opinion, an off-road vehicle that's going to go off way into the woods where there's no infrastructure. Bad idea, and 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 and, and these are not the type of vehicles that you use for city driving like a Model Y. So it's not that. It's not. It doesn't compete with a Model Y. So it's not in that sweet spot that I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's. I'm not sure. I think that it's a case of they're being developed at the same time as the Charger EV, and they have to somehow mitigate the losses that they know they're going to get. So they have to sell it to get something back.
And that's
It's what it
understandable.
is.
That's
It's the only
understandable.
reason. You cannot sit here and say that they didn't try to fix that 230 miles of range. That is pitiful. You can't do nothing with that. Give me a lawnmower, dude.
Exactly.
Just give me a lawnmower, G. I'll take that. But you gonna get what you gonna do with 230 miles of range in this kind of vehicle? You gonna go and you really gonna take you look. Suppose we going to drive to the Appalachian Mountains or the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
We're gonna drive up the mountains. We're
Lord.
gonna take an off trail, and I'm gonna follow somebody driving a Subaru Outback in this, and think that I'm gonna make it. No, he's gonna tell
Exactly.
me, "We'll be waiting on you when you get there, Kenya. Just call us if you need
And you
help."
get stuck in the middle of nowhere. Now you need a look. You don't need gas. You need a tow truck. And that's crazy. Like when the EV gets stuck, it's stuck. It's not
It's
about
stuck. You can't go
okay
walk nowhere and get no gas.
and come back. No, you literally have to get a tow truck to take it to whatever destination you need to take it to. That's crazy. All right, we're gonna close out and we're gonna keep it short. But here's the thing: Stellantis haven't even released the sales figures for their Q1 of this year for the Jeep Recon S. Kenya, that's sad and that's pathetic.
The
For
Wagoneer's fine. What is wrong with the Wagoneer?
I said Wagoneer S, their EV. And there you go. You forgot about the Wagoneer S EV. There you go.
I did.
You did. That's my
You know
point.
why I forgot about it?
Yeah. And so
That's your point.
that's my point. They have
got
not
themselves in a
released.
jam.
They have not released the sales figures for this year at all. That is scary.
That is
And
way out. But you know what? They're thinking, oh, it worked for Cadillac and the Escalade IQ. I don't know how well that's selling. Escalade IQ ain't selling that well. I see it. But how much are they subsidizing that thing? That's what
Exactly.
I'm
And
trying to
how much
figure
it
out.
really, I mean,
I see the Escalade
honestly,
all the time, the regular
I,
Escalade all the time.
I don't see the IQ all the time.
I don't. I
You
don't.
know,
I see the IQ every now and again, but the
and
Escalade every day.
exactly. And here's the thing. This is what I think bothers me and completely blows my mind is the continuation of, and I understand once a company is on a trajectory, it has to stay on
It's
there
hard to
until
shift,
it's
because
hard to
once you make
shift.
that investment, it's
It's
you
hard to
can't
shift.
just you got to get a return on that investment some type of way,
Exactly.
because you can't
Exactly.
just get it back. You got to sell it back.
And my question is, why did they not place an infrastructure where, okay, now we have these EVs, we need to make a configuration where we can do a range extender EV. We and that's shout out to Scouts Motors for thinking like that. They said, okay, we want the EV, but we looking at the landscape. We understand that everybody is not buying into an EV. Let's give our consumers a option, a choice in the matter. Do they choose the EV or do they choose the range extender? They chose the range extender so much. I'm thinking they gonna discontinue the EV, right? 80% to 20% of the EV. That's
Now,
the market. That's the
now
market we're dealing with.
I have not looked at the Scout,
Oh man, the Scout is
but
a bad mama John.
a lot of the range extending EVs, E-revs is what they're called,
Yeah,
don't have a lot of performance.
and that's okay. It's it as long as it has. It's not. Look, can you? That performance stuff is a joke. Okay, we are talking about day to day livability. That's what we're talking about. If it's 300, 400 horsepower, that's good enough, right? We don't need a
Yeah, but
thousand.
a lot of them ain't even getting, like, take for instance the Mazda EZ6. It has an E-rev variant.
Yeah.
It's got the least amount of horsepower out of all of them. The
Well,
MX-30 RE is a
Kenya.
little bit better actually.
Okay, listen. We
I
not
will
gonna
say that.
bring up it being a copy of a Chinese car. So
Okay,
let's
fair
okay
enough.
okay my point exactly. So there, all right, all right, we leaving that
But I'm just
conversation.
saying a lot of them don't have that kind of performance
But
because
no,
it's
they do. And we have to go to China for that. They do have that performance. The issue is in America, for whatever reason, they don't invest in that type of performance, and they don't have the same flavor that China has when it comes to investing in E-revs. Almost all the China E-revs are on a greater or the same level as their EV counterparts, right? And if they're lower, they're just a little bit lower, not that much. That being said, um, hey, my prayers goes out to Jeep. Jeep, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for the hit that you're about to take in the 2026 Q1. I'm sorry, Jeep. My heart goes out to you, Jeep. I pray for the best. And yeah, 2026 is not your year. That's all I gotta say. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Jeep. I apologize, but 2026 ain't your year, right? Unless you put a range extender in that thing ASAP. 2026 is not your year, and I do understand. We're gonna close out. We understand that we had to go with the flow of Carlos Tavares, but his delusional mindset needs to be studied, right? Putting all the eggs in one basket and eliminating your whole customer base because you think you know better than them. And I think whenever we do something, we always have to study and humble ourselves. and that's what Ford did. I always say that about Ford. Ford humbled themselves. They gave
they
their
did.
customers options, right? They always had the V8, but
Yeah.
they was pushing this EcoBoost V6 real hard. And
And they
guess
still
what?
get that V8.
And they still kept the V8. And guess what? The number one engine for the Ford F-150 is the EcoBoost V6. That's what people are buying. The EcoBoost V6. They're not buying the V8. So it's a smart move, right? Just having and Ford don't develop a lot of V8 F-150s, period. Right? So that's a smart move. And
You go to more demanding applications, they're gonna need that V8 though. When you get the
well,
towing,
they're saying that EcoBoost is doing a better job as far as just the whole.
it would have to be a hybrid. There's no way in the world that
Yeah,
V6
they're
gonna
saying
handle no V8.
the EcoBoost is doing a better job all around.
Nah,
Better
it's
job.
gotta be with a hybrid. I know they got that EcoBoost hybrid. I know it.
Yeah,
I'm
but
telling you.
the, but yeah, I mean, we're looking at the day to day, everyday application of the EcoBoost of day to day living,
I'm just
right?
saying, 25,000 pound towing capacity.
Yeah, and
It's a
that's when
lot
you
for a
move up
V6.
to another that's when you move up to another weight class, right? So when you move up to another weight class, of course you're gonna do the V8. But if you just doing day to day life, that's all you need, right? That being said, this is the Ken and Don show. Make some noise, Kenya.
All right. Hoo, 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 hoo.
Hey man, our heart go out to Jeep. We sorry for your loss for
Yeah,
2026.
they'll get it back.
Yeah,
Eventually.
you'll get it back. You'll get it back. Hey,
Might be
everybody
some years,
experienced
but
loss,
hey,
and
they learned their lesson.
yeah, everybody experienced loss. So we pray that you learn from it and you do better for at least the next quarter, 2 quarters of 2026. So thank you. This is the Ken and Dunn show. We are out. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
All right, peace. See you next time. Be there.